My freaky darlings, welcome back. This week I'm heading to the icy lands of Scandinavia and getting a little bit freaked out by the Gjenganger. So, a Gjenganger, in a nutshell, is a ghost that has been revived from death to purposely haunt the living. It's just so nasty, and yet I can think of all sorts of nefarious things you can do with that. Now, I'm a good person. Really, I am. I would never raise someone from the dead specifically to haunt someone, just to have some sick, twisted revenge. Really, I would never do such a thing. Anyway, moving right along swiftly. The meaning of the word Gjenganger comes from a combination of the words again and Ganger, meaning foot or walker. Gjenganger basically means walking again. And apparently this is quite fitting since they usually look like normal people. Completely real. So not ghostly at all. I'm not sure how I feel about that. In some ways I think it actually makes them a little creepier. So, typically, Gengangers are those who died before their time, usually a victim of murder, suicide, or some other crime or accident. These revenge-motivated ghosts are extremely vicious and have the goal of seriously disturbing the lives of those who wronged them in life. My kind of ghosts. It's probably the sort of thing I would do to any fucker who thought they could knock me off before my time. But anyway. Now, what's also super cool about these guys is that this tradition or idea of the violent Gjenganger goes back to the Viking Age. You can find their presence in many of the Icelandic sagas, among others Grettis Saga, Erbergia Saga, and the Saga of Eric the Red. Ooh, I love that one. But in these traditions, the Gjenganger was mortal. And an example of this can be found in the Grettir slaying the Gjenganger Glamir with his sword. These Viking Age Gjenganger were often called Drauga, but are probably just a different name for the same thing. Now, in more modern times, the Gjengangers have lost a bit of their Viking bite and usually attack in the dead of night while their victim is fast asleep. They will then pinch the sleeping person and flee the sea. When the victim wakes up, they'll notice a strange blue spot where the Gjenganger pinched them. This is a sign of coming sickness and death for that person. In addition to attacking specific people who have wronged them, Gjengangers also seem to enjoy wreaking havoc among all the living. They are adept at spreading sickness, and if they touch you, even if just a brush, your flesh will soon begin to slough away, and the virus reaches your heart. There are apparently things you can do to ward off this evil thing and prevent one from being created. So people had numerous ways of both defending themselves against the Gjenganger and stopping the people from becoming one in the first place. Crucifixes and Christian incantations, painting symbols, especially the cross, and coffins being carried 3 times around the church before being buried. Okay, that's an interesting one. Okay. But they also sound a bit like warding off vampires as well. I'm wrong in that. Crossover, and just because they work for one, can also work for another. All-purpose undead killing kind of things. Anyway, there's also the tradition of a pile of stones or twigs called a varp, which often marked a place where someone had died. It was believed that when you passed this place, you should throw another stone or twig on the varp to commemorate what happened there. Doing so would sometimes bring luck on your further travels, while not doing so would result in bad luck and dangerous accidents. Many of these VOPs have now disappeared, but in a few places the VOP is marked with a sign or something similar. But I'm not entirely sure what that would do to help with a Gjenganger problem. But I guess it wouldn't hurt to have a little extra luck if you got one of those guys bent on killing you. Maybe? Interestingly enough, a lot of the symptoms caused by the Gjenganger seem to mimic real-life diseases that were common at the time. I mean, skin sloughing disease could be necrotizing fasciitis, which often occurs after injury, or even simple abrasions or cuts. And the original pinching bruise could be an indication of cancer or any other internal issues. But that sort of logical thought just ruins a good ghost story or even zombie story, right? I mean, who wants that? Anyway, that's it for this week. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and share it with people who are also fascinated by some weird shit like mythical creatures, ghosts, urban legends, and things that go bump in the night. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and if you bump into someone you know you did wrong and who's supposed to be dead, run, and maybe throw a stick or a stone on a pile. Anyway, bye.